Today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 47, Week 8.
This episode's titled, He's All That. Andy didn't exactly say that. Andy was referring to the movie She's All That, but I think someone's being clever because Andy was essentially saying he's having a She's All That moment. So they titled it He's All That. And they gave them that little montage when he said it.
Okay.
But
right. If somebody saw something different, let us know.
Yeah, sure.
Because that was a little bit confusing.
Previously on Survivor, we see Saul talking to Andy and telling him, dude, you're the backup. And then Saul spoiled Tuku's plan, and Tiana ends up getting the boot. They're back at the, Beka camp, night 15. We see Rachel all alone because she used the advantage, and so she indeed ends up at camp before everyone else, but she can't find the flint, so she can't get the fire started. But in any case, she tells us she's very, very relieved.
Yeah, that would have been scary if she had to walk back to camp all by herself in the dark, and they can't see anything.
Yeah, I wonder how far the lights, how long they keep the lights on the cameras, because they always show them coming back in. So, I don't know.
Well, they didn't show her coming back in, though. I mean, I'm sure that they probably filmed it, but,
Gabe's talking about how Rachel forced Tuku's hand, and Saul is telling us, I play goofy, but I'm looking for a connection. I think I got one with Rachel. I think I'm building Saul's secret agents, the SSA, he dubs them.
Well, Saul's acting goofy because he doesn't want them to know that he's very strategic.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's a big cover.
Yes, he himself actually said that.
Yes, yep. I know. That's why I was pointing it out. He didn't just say, he wasn't just goofy, he was saying.
And he ends up telling Rachel, too. So.
Yes.
And then Rachel's thrilled. Damn.
Were you surprised he told her that quickly?
No. I think someone who does that wants a payoff.
Well, I knew he wanted to pay off, but I thought he might feel her out a little more before he told her and kind of get a promise that she wouldn't tell anyone, which doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But in the game of Survivor, anyway.
Yeah, I think because of the 26 days, everything feels accelerated, so they're more likely. I think that's why people can't keep secrets. They're constantly feeling that pressure, and it gets to them. But yeah, we'll see how long that holds.
And Sam makes sure, didn't take him long to tell her, they wanted to take you out. They were going to do it. You can't trust Tuku. And we got to get Tuku out of here.
Right. That's what he says. Gata versus Tuku. War is coming. Okay, it's next day, day 14. This is a 2-day game cycle, 14 and 15. And Kyle has declared, I like Saul.
Yeah, he's his favorite person out there. He's funny and all that. And I was like, oh, cool. I would like to see them work together. But.
Yeah, and so it looked like Saul was being really handy with the coconut. One slice had it open, but it turned out it was rotten.
Ew.
rotten coconut water on the inside. Okay, so Caroline leads them to the auction announcement, and they got to run around the jungle grabbing bamboo tubes full of cash. We've seen this version before, so that was kind of fun.
It wasn't fun for me to watch Andy.
No, it was meant to be
How?
comical.
It wasn't comical. It was pitiful. It was sad. It was, how can he just not be looking? They were like
No, he
right
was looking.
in front of him.
He just described
He
how
was
he was looking, that he was
not-
putting extra effort in
He
to look
was
around him.
Not doing that.
How about Sierra? I bet she was queen of the Easter egg hunt.
Pretty sure she was.
That was
yes.
impressive. Okay, time for the auction. Andy is safe from losing his vote because he comes into the auction with $0. The person with the most money when the auction ends, and they won't know when that's going to happen, will lose their vote.
Well, the only thing about that is then it tells you what order. Whoever found the most money can dump theirs right away.
And yet, it did not happen that way. First
It
up,
didn't.
$60. Jeff declares for some chips and a soft drink, and Saul jumps right on it. So the first 5 are guaranteed. There's going to be at least 5 things, and then he draws a rock that's got a number on it that tells him when it's going to end. Okay, woohoo, some chips and soda.
So if you have the money, you can afford to wait for a little while.
Yes, yeah. Then it starts getting dicey. Okay, second item, a gigantic bowl of mac and cheese.
Oh my goodness.
And Teeny snaps that up, spends all her money, $640, and she's chowing down.
Yeah,
That bowl was bigger than her head.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she couldn't eat all that.
There's
That
no
would've
way
made you really
she finished
sick.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that amount of time. Nope.
No. Mm-mm. Okay, then Sierra she's got $800 and she gets chip salsa and guacamole with a margarita.
Yeah, she actually had 1,060. That might have been the most we've ever seen anybody get. But yeah, she blows it on 800, not knowing exactly what it was.
And
But
still
everyone
has
was
260.
was thinking that it might be a drink under there, given how Jeff was holding it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that would be that filling. I mean, the guac would be good because you get some good fat.
No, but just to get the flavors out there.
And she immediately started spilling the margarita, and you could see later that she was
Yeah.
dropping chips. And okay, the fourth item's covered, and Kyle bets on it. Sam tries to undercut him, thinking that if it's meat, Kyle won't eat it. He's saying, just in case.
Surprise.
Probst didn't have any of that, though. So yeah, Kyle ends up getting a gigantic and actually tasty-looking tray of hot wings.
Yeah.
With some ranch sauce and carrots and celery.
Yeah, so he did get some veggies as well.
Wait, what's the difference between vegan and eating vegetarian?
I don't know.
Because there was that discussion about how he had altered his diet to give him more options when he was out there. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But anyway, he ends up eating meat, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Nope, it doesn't. He ate wings.
Yeah.
Good for
I
you,
would've-
Kyle. I know
that
he
was-
needed the nourishment.
Yeah, that was one of the best ones out there. That, hands down, that would be my
Well,
favorite. I would totally
Of course, it would be
spend
your
all my
favorite.
money. And I could eat that. I could destroy that plate before that auction was over. No problem.
Yeah, that wouldn't. When I make wings, sometimes I'll make 2 cookie sheets full.
So that there'll be more for
And
a 2nd
I'll
meal.
eat 1 or 2 of them, maybe.
Yes, I enjoy wings.
You will eat the rest.
Okay, so the 5th item, Gabe bids on, blows all his money, $660. He's sure it's rotten fish. Probst tries to pull the old door number 2 on him and offer him an alternate since he's convinced that he's bought rotten fish. But he sticks with his original and is rewarded with a coconut full of cold water.
Well, cold water would have been nice, but
That was so perfect for
that
Gabe.
hurts.
I love that he
Well,
got that.
and he did it because he probably was just starving. He wanted those buffalo wings badly.
Yep.
You could tell he was really hungry.
Yes. I think that was the perfect one for
I'm
Gabe.
glad
though.
my delicate ears did not hear what he really had to say.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 5 out of the way. Now it's not guaranteed at all. So item 6, Saul ends up bidding on, and
He tries to dump all of his money, bets his whole $540
right
on it.
ends up with a pretty tasty looking. That looked like an artistic looking apple pie
Yeah.
with some blueberries on top.
And whipped cream.
Oh, yeah, you got to
I'd
add
have
whipped
put
cream.
more whipped cream probably, but
Yeah, I
you
wouldn't have
couldn't
stopped
eat
with
it
just doing a
anyway.
47. I would circle it and then underline. And
Yeah, but he couldn't eat all that either. Not
I don't
in
know.
a tub.
Saul looks like he could put some food away. So, and he took a pretty good first big bite there.
Well, the weird thing is Jeff gave him $60 back.
Oh, yeah, the
that he had
Survivor
to take.
Cashback program. Yeah, to mess with you. You think,
Yep.
oh, I'm safe. I've
I'm
spent
safe.
it all.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh no, he gave me more money. And Gabe is still lamenting.
Now, Rachel has the most left at 500, and she ends up betting, and she's thinking, oh, no, it could be bad, but maybe, just maybe, there's a burger under there.
Well, yeah, but
Her spidey sense was on point.
absolutely.
So she ends up with a nice big burger. Looked like one of those giant brioche buns and some fries and a mug of beer.
Well,
Good
and
stuff.
don't forget the
Something
advantage
special?
she got.
Yeah, and the fries, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Genevieve is next up with the most, and he keeps highlighting who has
I
the
know,
most.
Who has the most? And she finds out there are more items and she can relax
Yeah.
as they go to commercial.
Yep. Okay, so she ends up with a big plate of sweets with cupcakes and cookies and
Yeah.
I don't know what all there. And
Well, she
meantime,
wanted chocolate, remember?
it ended up, yes, and chocolate. What did she say she wanted? Chocolate and potato salad. Interesting combination.
Ew. I didn't hear the potato.
Yeah, that's why she said she was running. She said, I don't like to run, but I want chocolate, and then it was potato salad as she was bringing bamboo tubes back. But that was great cover for Rachel so that she could get the little scroll that was hidden away in her
She
fries.
timed that well because, they were all, Saul kept looking over there. And she was trying to, and I was like, oh, no, don't do it yet.
Yeah.
Wait
Said
till they're
Saul on one side and
focused on
Sue on the
food.
other. Yeah.
So
And
she timed that very well.
yeah, that plate of sweets distracted everyone. It worked out great. Okay, Sue's in the lead now with 380, and she ends up getting this was a little bit of a twist, right? So it was waffles and blueberry pancakes, and it was like a super duper Survivor
big
breakfast plate. Yeah, and the twist was that she was going to have
the
to
highest bidder.
Yeah, she was going to end up competing with three others.
For $200, anyone
You
could
compete.
try.
Yeah,
And so both,
and the contest was who could eat 2 live grubs the fastest.
well, I figured it
And
would
that
be
was
Sam, but
the way it was set up. There's 2 grubs. It looks like both grubs just pooped on the plate.
Oh.
And that was how he set it up. And then he brought out the tray for all of them, freshies, he called them, so that they could each have a shot.
yep. Well,
And
Sam
Sierra
wins
just walked
that.
away. So Sue and Sam and Caroline competed, but Sam ends up downing them first.
I don't think grubs go really well with chips and salsa or even margaritas. So
Yeah, Sierra noped right out of there and
Yep.
just left it to those 3. And Sam ends up winning, and so he got a big breakfast. Now, Sue didn't have to pay anything. She got her money back, and so did Caroline. But Sam was the only one who
But
paid
did
the
they
200.
want their money back?
Right.
They didn't want the money back. But at least Sue still had the most money, and she got a giant
It
burrito.
looks like it's bigger than her head. Yep, a giant burrito and some iced tea, so she gets that next one.
Caroline, poor sweetie.
Yeah,
And she
what was
had
that,
to eat
item
that
11?
Fish eye.
2 fish eyes and $60 back. Just
My
when you think you
goodness.
spent it all, you get to munch on a fisheye. Okay. And item 12, Sierra ends up winning the bidding war for that one. And it's a big thing of peanut butter and chocolate. And look, there was maybe some marshmallows too.
So, did she choose who got to go with her? She chose Gabe and Caroline.
She
didn't
had 2 people she could share with, yeah.
Yeah,
And so,
but why did she choose Gabe and Caroline?
well,
Why wouldn't she choose Sam?
neither one of them really got anything, and Sam just ate a huge breakfast platter.
Wow, that's true.
So she
I
was
guess
giving
that's why she
Caroline
did.
and Gabe an opportunity to get some calories.
Okay.
And that's the end, and Sam ends up losing his vote because he was still sitting on $160.
I thought, yay, because of course I had him going.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you, too.
Yes. Left the door open, so we were pretty happy at that point.
Okay, day 14.
Back at camp,
Sam
Sam's
is
got no
not
vote.
happy about losing his vote.
So Rachel's looking for an opportunity. She goes over and checks where her clothes are drying to read the note that she got in the French
That
fries.
was a good shield, I guess, if you can't get any
Cover
further
story.
away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that worked. Right. Sort of in plain sight, but still able to get a little bit of privacy to look at it so no one saw her. Turns out there's a hidden immunity idol that tells us sewn into the corner of a tarp there at camp.
And nobody noticed when they were putting it up or that there was a...
I think it was relatively new. I suspect that it was something that was done recently.
While they were gone to a challenge, maybe.
I doubt it was there the whole time.
Probably.
And she's wondering, well, which corner is it? And they show you there's some really high corners that would be hard to get to, but fortunately for her, it's one of the low ones. But it is right there in camp, and everybody's hanging around camp.
Yeah, and she did it and cut it open and everything when they were all right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was risky, but paid off.
Yeah.
She did good. But anyway, before that, Sierra was talking about it was really scary for her that Sam lost his vote since there were only 4 of them, and that she's like, we need to knock out some of the tuku.
Yeah, let's get Lavo on board here.
So she went to talk to Teeny and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm sure maybe it was her and Rachel went to talk to Teeny.
Right.
But anyway, Teeny's like, everyone's throwing Kyle's name around.
And certainly Sierra says she wants to target Kyle too. So Teeny doesn't care which male tuku goes, but Sierra's totally on board for Kyle.
And then Genevieve tells us she wants to
She talking to Sue?
get out of Gata.
Yeah.
And she tells Carolyn and Sue that she wants Rachel over Sam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really? You want Rachel over Sam? I think the women are more afraid of the other women.
Yes. Yeah, she said Sam was charming, but Rachel's an actual threat in the game. Genevieve is looking for who's savvy, who's got social aptitude.
Yeah.
And I want to get rid of them.
Well, and Caroline too, because she's like, Rachel is very sneaky and dangerous. I mean, Sam's the obvious choice, but
right.
Rachel's... what she's basically saying, Rachel's smarter, she's sneakier, she's way more dangerous.
Yes.
And
I see myself in Rachel's ability. I want to remove the Rachel piece from the board.
And didn't she say she thought Sam was oblivious?
Yeah, I think so. Something to that effect. Yeah. They don't,
No. She said he was obvious. He was the obvious choice, not the... I was looking at my notes, but I couldn't read them. Okay, so...
Rachel takes advantage of that chit-chat's going on in the shelter. Andy talking about wanting a sub sandwich. And she ends up with the hidden immunity idol.
Awesome.
Yes. Immunity Challenge, day 15. It's a classic. You got to hold on to these handles that are tied to a bucket that's got 25% of your pre-game body weight. You drop the bucket, break the tile, you're out. Last man and woman standing.
Yeah, I
win
kind of like
immunity.
that twist. Because I think it's more fair, because guys have more muscle mass. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but you're holding less weight if you happen to be smaller, and yeah, okay, whatever.
I'm giving him a look.
Throw the throw the whole equity
Muscles.
thing away.
That's
Okay.
Papa would say.
Yeah.
Muscles, lots of muscles.
Sam is out in a blink, followed by Genevieve, and then Teeny, all out in less than a minute.
I couldn't believe Sam went out that fast.
He said his bucket was 50 pounds, just more than his hand strength.
My bucket was 50 pounds.
Who did not follow Charlie's example from season
Certainly
46
Sam
and work
did.
on his grip strength? That would be Sam, yeah.
I don't think he probably thought he would need any more strength than he already has.
Prope's comments on Rachel saying that she is in a trance, and then Sierra is gone, and then Gabe is out. 3 men, 3 women facing off. Caroline does a nice save, and then Saul's dropping. Caroline's out.
Yeah, I thought Saul could win maybe, but then,
He probably weighed the
probably
most
had
of all of them.
yeah. Yeah.
Rachel's able to crank the bucket back up, and then Saul's out.
But Sue just never moved. She just hunkered down there and just never moved.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Okay, you have to admit that's impressive.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, she's way lighter weight than everyone else, but she's smaller too, so...
Yeah, she
to
powered
me,
through.
It was very impressive.
Yep, she ends up winning for the women. Then we got Andy facing off against Kyle.
Now, who thought...
No, we were cheering for Kyle. Straight
Of
up.
course.
Sorry, Andy.
Who knew Andy would last that long?
I
that
thought he
challenge.
was going to be very early out.
I know, and you thought Sam was going to last, and Andy was going to
If I was just trying to bet on who would make it in that challenge,
Yep.
I bet against Andy. So he did good, but then he ends up dropping. Kyle wins his third individual immunity. I did stay with Kyle for my USB 24, but wow, the target on his back just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
buddy.
it does. But anyway, Sue actually gets emotional when Jeff puts the.
Yeah,
the
he gives her
necklace
a
on her.
moment. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Saying she was channeling the strength of her family. She gives us a little Gablerism there.
that's pretty awesome, especially since she's actually 58 years old. None of the others know that, but Jeff probably does.
Yeah.
So, but
And Kyle, he just blows her up pie. Kyle, third win. Good job, dude. Okay, go back over there. No moment for you. Sue tells us if I can do it, you can do it too. Get up off that couch. Age is just a number. All right, Sue, I'm with you. Okay, back at camp.
Sierra tells Andy it's Gabe.
I like she asked Teeny, what names? Who are you thinking of? Caroline or Gabe?
Well, we have to give Andy a little credit that he knows that Sierra and Sam and those guys feel like he's expendable. And
Yeah, but we've seen that before. He's known that for a while. That didn't seem like that was anything new. It was. This is when we get him saying the title.
But he seems
almost
so
the title.
down, and then all of a sudden he's like, "No, I'm going to believe in myself."
I didn't think
And-
he seemed down at all. That was just an act he was doing to Sierra.
Oh, well, maybe, but I bought it.
This
I
was
thought he was a little.
this
down
was
about it.
planned and contrived. No, he was saying that for her to keep her off. If you want to do anything,
I
you
thought
give
he
him
was on
credit
his
for
own.
faking her out. But no, he's going to be the full me. He's going to lose his glasses.
Well, one thing Caroline does well, whether she's with him or not, she acts like she is.
Andy seemed like he was stuck in high school or something.
And he's going to flip to Lavo and Tuku. Mm-hmm. He's leaving his Gata tribe.
Gonna create his own lunchroom table of people.
Yep. Well, and he should. He is on the bottom of that tribe. So, though Sam would probably keep him over Rachel for sure. Because
Gabe was thrilled when he heard that from Andy. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you target Gata. You go. That's good for me, Andy. And Gabe says Sierra's the head of the snake.
we can line them up and take them all out.
And then we see the old Lavo tribe together talking, Teeny, Genevieve, and Saul, talking about targeting a Gata member.
Yeah, they were talking to Teeny, and
That's what she wanted to do. And Saul said, well, I want to target a Tuku. So they all had different ideas of who they were focusing on.
Yeah, Teeny wants Sam out.
Yep, he's the biggest threat. He's the head of the snake.
Genevieve wants Sierra out.
She's the biggest threat. Head of the snake. Meanwhile, Rachel and Sierra back at camp, and they're going, something weird is happening. They're still seeing all these conversations spark off around them, and they're not part of it. So, something's up. See Gabe talking to Saul. He wants to target Rachel. Genevieve telling us there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
And nobody's going to be on the same page. She's just, even for a second, she was like, no, this isn't going to go well.
Genevieve wants to target Rachel. Teeny wants to target Sam. And Saul wants to target who? Gabe? Or Sierra? Did he pivot to Sierra by then?
I don't know.
Anyway,
anymore.
they did a good job setting it up so it wasn't
They
altogether
did.
clear.
It's like now
At least to us.
we don't know. To me,
Yeah.
it's like I buy into it.
Yeah, we were
Hook, line, and
suckers
sinker.
for that portion of the edit every week. Tribal Council Night 15. Sue and Kyle have immunity. Sue and Rachel have immunity idols. And Sam gets the first question from Probst, and he's telling us that the game is waiting for the war to begin.
Well, and Gabe's talking about people were lied to today. I'm not sure that's something you want to volunteer in tribal or
Yeah, I don't know.
but
I think it would. It makes everyone uneasy. So credit to him for just shaking everybody up with that. Everybody then immediately goes, "Was I lied to?"
Well, and Andy talking about, well, we'll find out what, there are a lot of factions linking up today.
Yeah, I like that he kept up with what Sam and Gabe were talking about. The war's coming, blah blah blah. He said, "No, it's already on me. I've been in it. I'm already catching votes." So yeah, this is all about seeing where the lines are drawn now.
Yeah, and Gabe was talking about, it was auction day and they kind of had their ceasefire.
That was
and
good.
it
I
was
liked
all
his
over
analogy
again.
there as comparison. Yeah, the whole World War I story. Yeah, ceasefire on day 14, and now they're back at it. Teeny's
And,
talking about milestones, and this is certainly one of them when the jury starts.
Yeah, and Genevieve highlights that, there's more people, and this is Survivor. You can't trust. It's hard to trust people, and when you have to trust more people,
This has got to be
you don't know where that's going.
the hardest part of the game when you've got this many active players. That's why I'm so eager for them to get back to letting the big groups play as soon as they merge and not splitting them back off, because
Yeah.
this is where you see the most challenging play occur.
Well, and they were really, really highlighting that tonight. Mm-hmm. That 11 this is where it really gets tough.
Right.
Because you don't know who's with who and which way it's going because they kept splitting them up. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell.
Yep, Sierra was talking about how hard it was for her to keep up with what was going on. And certainly there's going to be a huge outcome tonight.
And that tonight's the night we find out where our trust lies.
Yep, Sam's telling us it's hard to shepherd a flock this large, which tells you that he sees himself as a shepherd.
Yes, I thought, really?
You're going
How
out of your way to
arrogant
be,
was that?
you're going out of your way to be clever, but you're also saying
Plus, you're calling
you're
them
a
sheep,
shepherd.
really.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. There's me, and then there's these sheep.
me, the shepherd, and my sheep that I'm herding around. I thought, really? You wanted to put that out there, did you?
Caroline says being targeted as admiration equals admiration at this point in the game.
At least Kyle referenced gladiators. He's going to fight instead of he's the shepherd.
Yeah, he's saying, hey, for the person who gets voted out, you're really, really good. Now go away.
And we need you not to be. So,
Yeah, that was good. I did
yeah, I
like
like that.
Yeah.
It was a nice way to say, look, it doesn't mean we don't like you. It's just you're too good. We can't have you here.
Yeah.
We can't go further if you're here.
Teeny closes us out with noting this is an 11-person tribal, and this is the real first trust test.
Yep.
So, yep, indeed.
And everyone raises their hand to Jeff that we're all uncomfortable
Yeah,
about where things are at. So,
indeed. Yeah, you don't want to be the only one that didn't raise your hand to that question for sure.
and of course, Jeff says it's time to vote.
Rachel gets her immunity idol. I thought it was her immunity idol out and put it in her pocket.
But it wasn't. It was she might have put that in there too. But were you surprised?
I think that was the immunity idol because, yes, I was really caught off guard when she said she had played her shot in the dark. And then I thought, oh, she's using that as a trust test.
Yeah,
She's
but-
checking for reactions to see if anyone is disappointed that they're going to get a does not count,
So
voting
think
for her.
had she seen people
Any
reacting
reaction
more,
and-
she
yes.
would have played it.
Yes, she would have actually turned around and then played the idol.
Okay, maybe. If she was allowed, that's what I don't know. I don't know whether she would be allowed or not. Yeah, that's an awful lot.
The votes
to-
hadn't been read, so I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
a lot.
That
You
was
got to
a-
make a decision really fast.
It was an interesting risk to do that, but she said she was uneasy. She didn't know what to think. So yeah,
Were you surprised when there was a tie?
I didn't really see that
I
coming.
didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
No. It makes sense in case one of them, they had plenty of people to do it, and one of them could have had an idol. So that was one way to do that. But
What I didn't understand was when he explained why Sierra could actually vote. Like Sam never had a vote, he didn't vote, and Rachel didn't have a vote because she had used her shot in the dark.
yeah,
But why was it again that Sierra was able to vote on the revote? Normally the people that tie in the votes don't get to vote, right? They just sit there, and the only people that you can vote for in the revote is the two people in the tie. So I have to go back and watch that again. I'm not sure what was going on.
Yeah, I was confused by that too.
Andy makes a comment when he places his second vote. I'm a dirty player, he says. So we get one for Sam, and then boom, all Sierra.
I think what Jeff was saying is that normally they can't vote because the reason they don't have them vote is because their votes just cancel each other out. But because Sam didn't have a vote,
then she could, because it wouldn't be a cancel out.
Exactly.
Huh.
So she got
I think you figured it out. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. I'm like
we couldn't do it in the moment, but you got it on the second pass. I didn't. Good job, baby. So Sierra is out in the first member of the jury. So if you had Sierra as the one being voted out, you actually got 2 points for that this week in JSFL. And Sierra gets a Jeff hug, and Sam tells everyone there, thank you for keeping me. I don't think it'll be enough. What did you think of this episode?
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun with the auction and the way they run the auction now, and the encouragement so people don't just sit there and hold money to try to get an advantage. You never know when the advantage may be in something, the way Rachel lucked out with the burger. And her sixth sense really steered her correctly.
Well, and they didn't have an obvious to everyone that there was something coming, an advantage in the next challenge, or something that would help someone. They just sort of slipped it in there. Yeah, she kept it secret, and everybody used to, because they knew something was coming, either letters from home or some advantage. Nobody would that was in trouble would eat. They would just save their money. And some people,
in the way they used to do them.
The way they used to do them. And what a lot of people would do is, if they needed money, they would just take it home with them. They wouldn't spend it.
Right.
They'd be like, hey,
definitely some people
I just got $500 I can take home, and at least I got something out of this. And they would do that quite frequently. So this way, they've made it where it's not an advantage to keep your money. It's actually a penalty.
It's going to hurt. Yeah.
It's going to hurt you, so you have to spend it, or you lose your vote. So I kind of liked how they because they got so used to, oh no, there's something coming, I got to save, I can't.
Yeah.
And
Return of the Grubs. I like that too.
Yeah.
The gross eating challenge.
Yes.
It worked out well.
The grubs and the eyeball. Don't forget the eyeball.
Yeah, the fish eyes.
That one's even more gross, I think.
I don't know. When the insides of the grub was coming out of the other end while Sue was trying to chew on it, somehow that seemed a little worse than the eye.
At least she spit it out.
Yeah.
Caroline ate it.
Yeah.
I guess she's
getting
like,
that protein.
I do like that about Caroline. She's very excited. This is my Survivor experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to do an auction, and I can just see her there. No, I'm eating this no matter what. I'm going to eat it. And same thing with the eyeball. I was like, you go, girl. Yeah. This is your Survivor experience. You've watched people do this. You know you can do it.
Right.
Go for it. Though, I don't know if I could do it. But
that was hard. But yeah, she's definitely in. She's here to play.
Yeah, she's a player, and she's a fan, and I really like that about her.
Classic challenge. I almost wanted Kyle not to win. I was just, I think the target's bigger. I stayed with him.
Then he would have been the target if he had.
Might have been.
No, I don't think there's any might about it. I'm pretty sure he'd be the target if he had.
Do you think he's part of a big enough alliance now that might cool off a little bit?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean,
He's pretty much got to win the rest of the way.
yeah, who in his
Buddy.
tribe, his old tribe, which one of them could beat him? Well, depending, Sue might could with something, but
Yeah.
or even Caroline, but I don't think Gabe could.
They do have challenges to draw on that where smaller players have a huge advantage. Mm-hmm. It a lot of times it comes down to just having small feet will work to your advantage.
That's true. And I think Gabe will target whoever he feels threatened by most. And
So I liked it. I liked seeing how the strategy was going. The whole Andy thing just seemed like a sad distraction to me.
well, and everyone has said how likable Kyle is, that he's real a nice guy, and everybody
I love
loves
that
him.
he's pragmatic to the point of, you know what? I need nourishment.
Yes, and I
And
need
so
to just eat
I'm
this.
going to do this. Yes, I'm going to do this for me so that I can continue to have a chance. And
Yeah, because he knows he needs to win.
yeah, maybe that's what helped power him up
That's
enough
right.
so that he could beat Andy and Saul.
Because what muscles you have, you lose when you don't get enough protein.
Kyle is absolutely skinny strong. He's got that power.
Yeah, he
so
is. Well, and even his smile makes me like him.
yeah,
So
he's got that easygoing vibe. Yep.
yeah, and you could tell that he and Saul had a vibe going. Mm-hmm. And
Well, and he's there to play. He hasn't been given a lot of opportunity with Gabe, Sue, and Caroline, but he's definitely there to play.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. Unfortunately, he's probably not long for the game.
And they did show us Andy voting and saying that I'm doing you dirty, but I'm a dirty player.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I overall really enjoyed the episode. That was fun. Next time on Survivor, Sam tells us I have a vendetta. It's time to cause chaos. We see Genevieve talking to Sue and saying, Saul wants Gabe out. And then Sue says, blindside on Saul. And then Saul is saying, Sue's the best target. Who is that, Andy and Teeny?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Teeny asks, why not Kyle? Go away, Teeny.
Genevieve, it's an absolute mess.
Sam talking to somebody, maybe it was Andy. I think you're going to blow up everybody's game.
Yep.
Andy tells us this is nightmare fuel. I don't know. Those all just seem like
Well,
distractions.
and you said Sam was giving him the stink eye.
Yeah, I think when he was giving him some of that evil eye there at the end, that was Andy that he
Yep,
was looking
yep.
at.
And we see that Sierra's vote was the only one for Sam, and everybody else voted her.
Yeah, her last words, she's telling us that she was absolutely blindsided. I think she was a bit gobsmacked. She said there were no cues. There was no clues.
Well, she was kind of like, well, if I'm the biggest threat, thanks.
Yeah, she was a little upset. We definitely got some upset
I'm the
people
biggest threat.
this season.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think
They weren't
she
going out.
probably thought that they would. She felt safe enough that they would go after Sam before her. Mm-hmm. But
Now she has vowed to be a tough judge to everyone remaining, and she
That's right.
heads off to be Queen of Ponderosa.
or she'll get over it, and by the time
Yeah, there'll be enough
It'll
time
be
for
so
her,
long,
right? From
yeah.
from night 15 to night
26.
26. Yeah. Although she looks like somebody that could hold a grudge for quite a while.
no, you never know.
How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. There were 17 people who lost their USB. John R. is still in first place with 40 points.
Go, John R.
He's got like 10 points more than me, I think. The 74 people lost a safe point, and there were 30 people who earned 2 points for the vote off.
Nice.
In the side challengers, Jeremiah's in first with 36, Rebecca with 35. With 33, we have Anderson and Robert, 32 Justin, 31 Lisa Ray, and in the basement with 29 points is Parker and Stacy.
We stayed locked in down there, huh? All right.
Yes, you did. You had another 3-point week.
I was looking at all the ones that I'd only chosen safe once, and I chose them to be safe this week.
Yeah.
Because I was looking ahead and going, if this ends on December 18th, I got some tricky points management ahead of me. So I took that risk, and then
Well, I didn't have anybody with
blew
just
back on me.
1 point, I don't think. So,
yeah, that you'd only chosen once.
Yeah. Mine were all 2s and 3s already, so
Good luck with that.
yeah.
Okay, so what's the shakedown with the new USBs? How did that
Okay.
change or update?
In first is Kyle with 59 people. Originally he had 51, so he went up.
Okay.
Caroline has 33 people that chose her for their new USB, up from 26. Genevieve moved
Got a big
up
bump.
from 13 to 30 people have her
I
now.
totally understand that.
And Saul started out with 11 and now has 26 people.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
And Teeny as well. She started at 11 and now she has 24 who
Also
chose
more than
her.
double. Yeah.
And sorry guys, the people who had Sierra, there were 15 originally and now 17 people. For Rachel, she had 10 people originally and now she's up to 17. And Andy started at 13 people and now he's up to 17.
Okay.
Sam started at 15 and now he has 12.
Yeah, okay.
And Sue started with 6 and she has 9 now. And Gabe started with 6 and he has 7.
Wait, so Sam's the only one who lost, who ends up with less than he had before?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, good stuff.
Well, a lot of people I think probably chose him. I don't know how many, but probably a lot of people had him going this week and that's why they didn't choose him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He was a big target, huh?
Yes.
That makes more sense. Good deal.
But I didn't put Sierra safe because I thought if for some reason he won the challenge, they would go for her. If they couldn't get him, they'd go for her.
Right.
I didn't really think they would go for Rachel as much as they were talking about that. For some reason, I know they wanted her out last week, but I just kind of thought.
Well, the Tukus did, yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of thought, oh well, they might revise that somewhat, but she's not out of the woods either. After she uses her item,
Yeah.
I like that she extended that at least another week, but I thought it was way risky. So, but I guess she read the room pretty good. And after her instincts with the hamburger,
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely trust your gut. Keep doing that.
yeah. So I think she's playing really well, actually. And
She's another one
good-
that's really
good
maxing
player.
out her experience, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are, and that they appreciate that, and they're the ones I like best.
Well, that's our recap. We would love to have you join us for the listener feedback shows that we host on Saturday. We've got a voicemail line, 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737, where you can call and leave your thoughts and predictions. You can also record your own audio and send it in as an email attachment to joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com, or you could type it up as a text if you're not comfortable with the recorded voicemail kind of option. Either Joanne or I will read your feedback into the show on Saturday. Feedback's due noon Eastern time. This is a change. We're on the East Coast now. And if we're going to have any Saturday at all, we've got to call the feedback at noon so that we can start putting things together so we can record and then still have a little bit of time for us at the end of the day.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that's 9 a.m. Pacific. So that is a change that it's due or earlier for folks who aren't on Eastern time there. Well, it's earlier for everyone. Sorry. Yeah. But that's what we need to do so that we don't lose a whole day on the weekend.
Well, and if they were seeing all these boxes that are still
They would understand
stacked halfway
better.
to the ceiling.
Yeah, definitely. We ask that you keep your feedback, whether it's written or recorded, in that 3-minute range. Here's some questions to help get the juices flowing, some thoughts. How did your assessment of castaways change after this week's gameplay? There's a lot of tests that were going on with this week's tribal. Who impressed you the most? Who do you think is going to get voted out next? Anything else?
I don't believe so. I think we covered it.
Excellent. Have a good one.